As people grow older, their understanding of prosperity slowly changes. When we were young, prosperity often meant earning more, reaching higher positions, or proving our worth to the world. We chased numbers, titles, and visible success, believing that these things alone would bring happiness. But time is a patient teacher. After many years of living, many begin to realize that having more does not always mean living better. There are people who earn a great deal yet sleep poorly at night. Their minds remain restless, their hearts uneasy. There are also people who live simply, who may not appear wealthy to others, yet carry a calm spirit and a steady smile. They wake without fear, eat without worry, and rest without regret. In the wisdom of Feng Shui and traditional astrology, these people are often considered truly prosperous. Prosperity, especially in the later stages of life, is no longer about expansion. It becomes about preservation. It is about keeping what you have built through years of effort. It is about avoiding major loss, unnecessary conflict, and emotional exhaustion. It is about having enough, and knowing that enough is already a blessing. This is why the question of prosperity in 2026 must be approached carefully. The year of the fire horse is known to be fast, powerful, and full of movement. It is a year that can bring sudden gains, but also sudden losses. Those who only look at how much they can earn may overlook what they could lose. Those who understand balance know that a prosperous year is not always the loudest one. Many people ask, which Chinese zodiac will prosper the most in 2026? They imagine prosperity as wealth flowing in quickly, opportunities multiplying, or success becoming visible. Yet the deeper question is not who will gain the most, but who will remain the most stable while the year moves quickly around them. True prosperity shows itself in many quiet ways. It appears when financial pressure eases, even if income does not dramatically increase. It appears when health remains steady, allowing daily life to continue without disruption. It appears when family relationships soften, when arguments fade rather than grow, and when the home feels like a place of rest instead of tension. In 2026, prosperity must be understood as harmony between movement and restraint. The fire horse year pushes people to act, to decide, to move forward. But not everyone is meant to move at the same speed. For some zodiac signs, prosperity will come through growth and action. For others, it will come through protection and careful holding. Both are forms of fortune, shaped by the same year but expressed differently. As we begin this sharing, it is important to release the idea that prosperity belongs only to those who rise quickly. Sometimes, the most fortunate people are those who avoid unnecessary risk, who choose patience over excitement, and who protect their peace instead of chasing recognition. In the coming parts, we will gently explore how the fire horse year shapes prosperity, how different zodiac signs respond to this energy, and which signs are most naturally positioned to prosper in ways that are meaningful, lasting, and safe. This journey is not about comparison, but about understanding where you stand, so you may walk through 2026 with clarity and confidence. As we continue, we must first understand the nature of the year itself, because prosperity never appears without context. The energy of time shapes how fortune moves, just as weather shapes how crops grow. The year 2026 arrives with strong footsteps. It is known as the year of the fire horse, a combination that carries both power and urgency. Fire is the element of heat, clarity, and acceleration. It brings things to the surface and demands decisions. Matters that have been delayed often reach a turning point in fire years. Hidden problems may reveal themselves, and unresolved desires may suddenly feel impossible to ignore. Fire does not allow comfort in uncertainty. It pushes people to act, sometimes before they feel ready. The horse represents movement, independence, and strong personal will. Horse energy dislikes being held back. It wants freedom, space, and direction. When this energy is healthy, it brings courage and progress. When it becomes excessive, it brings restlessness and impatience. In daily life, Horse years often increase travel, career changes, and shifts in lifestyle. People feel a stronger urge to move forward, even if they are unsure where they are going. When fire and horse combine, the result is a year that moves quickly and rewards decisiveness. Opportunities may appear suddenly, and those who hesitate too long may feel left behind. At the same time, mistakes can also happen faster. In such a year, gaining something quickly does not always mean keeping it. This is why the Fire Horse year is often described as a test of balance rather than strength. For those in middle age and beyond, this energy requires careful attention. You no longer need to prove your worth through constant motion. The wisdom gained through experience becomes your greatest asset. In 2026, the Fire Horse does not demand that everyone run. It asks that each person move in a way that aligns with their own capacity. Those who respect their limits often fare better than those who try to match the pace of others. Prosperity in a Fire Horse year often comes through correct timing rather than force. Acting too early can lead to waste. Acting too late can lead to missed chances. The challenge is not speed, but awareness. Those who sense when to advance and when to pause often protect their resources more effectively. It is also important to understand that Fire Horse energy amplifies what is already present. If a person's life is stable, the year may bring growth and confidence. If a person's life is already strained, the same energy may increase pressure. This is why some zodiac signs appear to thrive, while others struggle, even under the same conditions. In 2026, prosperity is closely tied to self-control. The year favors those who can act decisively without becoming reckless. It rewards those who move forward with purpose, not impulse. For some zodiac signs, this alignment comes naturally. For others, it requires conscious effort and restraint. As we move forward, keep this understanding in mind. The Fire Horse year offers great potential, but only to those who know how to handle strong energy wisely. In the next part, we will explore how prosperity is traditionally understood in Chinese astrology and why different zodiac signs are meant to prosper in different ways, even within the same powerful year. When we speak about prosperity in Chinese astrology, we must let go of modern ideas that focus only on visible wealth. In traditional wisdom, prosperity is never judged by numbers alone. It is judged by balance. A person who earns much but loses health is not considered prosperous. A person who gains status but loses family harmony is not considered fortunate. True prosperity is measured by how smoothly life continues over time. In Chinese astrology and Feng Shui, prosperity has several forms, and not all of them involve money directly. The first form is growth. This is the kind most people recognize. Income increases, opportunities expand, and efforts bring clear rewards. This form of prosperity is powerful, but it is also the most demanding. It requires energy, attention, and constant management. In a fast year like 2026, growth can come quickly, but it can also disappear just as fast if it is not handled carefully. The second form of prosperity is protection. This is quieter and often overlooked. It appears when losses are avoided, when investments remain stable, and when resources are preserved. A year in which you do not lose money, even if you do not gain much, is considered a prosperous year in traditional terms. For people in middle age and later, this form of prosperity is often more valuable than rapid growth because it protects what has already been built. The third form of prosperity is the reduction of pressure. Sometimes, life becomes easier not because income increases, but because expenses decrease or worries lighten. Debts shrink, responsibilities become more manageable, and emotional burdens feel less heavy. This kind of prosperity improves quality of life without drawing attention to itself. It allows a person to breathe more freely, and this freedom is a form of wealth. The fourth form of prosperity lies in health and family stability. In traditional astrology, these are considered the foundation of all fortune. Without health, wealth cannot be enjoyed. Without family harmony, success feels empty. A year in which health remains stable and family relationships stay calm is a year of great prosperity, even if nothing dramatic happens on the surface. Chinese zodiac analysis looks at which of these forms of prosperity is most suitable for each sign in a given year. Not every zodiac sign is meant to grow rapidly at the same time. Some signs are meant to expand, while others are meant to consolidate. When a sign follows its natural role, prosperity flows more smoothly. When it tries to imitate another sign's path, strain appears. This is especially important in a firehorse year. Firehorse energy encourages action and movement, but not all zodiac signs are built to handle constant acceleration. Some signs thrive in motion, making quick decisions and adapting fast. Others prosper when they move slowly, observing carefully and protecting their resources. Both paths are respected in traditional wisdom. Another important principle is that prosperity must match a person's stage of life. What brings fortune at 30 may bring exhaustion at 60. Chinese astrology always considers timing, not just personality. For someone who has already worked hard for decades, prosperity in 2026 may mean stability, peace, and the ability to enjoy what they already have. For someone still building, it may mean expansion and opportunity. This is why asking which zodiac will prosper the most cannot be answered with a single measure. The answer depends on what kind of prosperity we are seeking. Is it growth, protection, relief, or harmony? In the coming parts, we will begin to look at which zodiac signs are more naturally aligned with growth in 2026, and which are better positioned for quiet, stable prosperity. Understanding this difference allows each person to align with the year in a way that supports both fortune and peace. As we now turn our attention to the zodiac signs with the strongest growth potential in 2026, it is important to remember that growth does not come without responsibility. In a firehorse year, expansion brings visibility, pressure, and temptation alongside opportunity. The signs that prosper most through growth are those whose nature aligns with movement, decisiveness, and the ability to act without becoming reckless. Some zodiac signs naturally resonate with fire energy. They are comfortable with change and are not easily frightened by uncertainty. In 2026, these signs often find that doors open more quickly than usual. Career opportunities may appear suddenly. Business ventures may gain momentum. People may look to them for leadership or guidance, sometimes without them actively seeking it. This is the kind of year where effort meets response, and action produces visible results. For these signs, prosperity often shows itself through increased responsibility. With growth comes more tasks, more decisions, and more people depending on them. Financially, income may rise, but so do obligations. This is why discipline becomes essential. Money earned easily can also be spent easily in a firehorse year. Those who prosper most are not the ones who earn the most, but the ones who manage growth with restraint and awareness. The firehorse year favors individuals who are willing to move forward while staying grounded. Quick thinking, adaptability, and courage are rewarded. However, impatience and arrogance are punished just as quickly. Zodiac signs with strong growth potential must remember that fire needs control. Without it, even success can become destructive. Acting with clarity rather than emotion helps turn opportunity into lasting prosperity. Another key feature of growth-oriented prosperity in 2026 is visibility. Success becomes more noticeable. Recognition increases. For some, this is energizing. For others, it can feel uncomfortable. Being seen brings praise, but it also brings scrutiny. Those who remain humble and ethical tend to maintain their progress, while those who become careless with words or actions may face resistance later in the year. Growth in this year is often tied to initiative. Waiting passively rarely leads to prosperity for these zodiac signs. They are encouraged to step forward when the moment feels right, to speak when clarity is present, and to take responsibility when others hesitate. This does not mean taking unnecessary risks, but it does mean trusting one's experience and judgment. It is also important to note that growth in 2026 may not always follow familiar paths. Some zodiac signs find prosperity through new roles, different industries, or unexpected collaborations. The Fire Horse year supports innovation and flexibility. Holding too tightly to old methods may slow progress. Those willing to adjust without abandoning their values often benefit the most. At the same time, growth must be balanced with rest. Fire Horse energy can create momentum that feels unstoppable, but exhaustion quietly builds beneath the surface. The signs that prosper most are those who know when to pause, delegate, and recover. Ignoring the body's signals can undermine even the strongest opportunities. For people in middle age and later years, growth-oriented prosperity should be approached with wisdom rather than ambition alone. There is no need to prove anything. Growth should serve life, not consume it. When expansion improves stability, confidence, and peace, it is aligned. When it creates constant stress and urgency, it is time to step back. As we reflect on these zodiac signs with strong growth potential, remember that growth is only one form of prosperity. It shines brightly, but it also demands careful handling. In the next part, we will speak about zodiac signs whose prosperity in 2026 is quieter, steadier, and often more suitable for those who value security, health, and long-term peace over rapid advancement. As we move forward, it is important to speak about a different kind of prosperity, one that does not announce itself loudly. In 2026, while some zodiac signs experience visible growth, others are guided toward a quieter and more stable form of fortune. This prosperity does not rush forward, but it holds steady. For many people in middle age and beyond, this is the most valuable kind of blessing. These zodiac signs may not feel dramatic changes in income or status. Instead, they notice that life becomes more manageable. Financial matters stabilize. Expenses feel more predictable. Unexpected losses are avoided. Even without great gain, there is a sense that nothing is slipping away. In traditional wisdom, this is a clear sign of prosperity, because preservation allows peace to take root. Quiet prosperity often appears through family and health. Relationships within the home feel calmer. Old tensions lose their intensity. Conversations become easier, and misunderstandings resolve without force. Health remains steady, allowing daily routines to continue without disruption. This stability creates a foundation that no amount of sudden wealth can replace. In the Fire Horse year, this form of prosperity is especially precious. The year's fast-moving energy can easily exhaust those who try to keep up with every opportunity. Zodiac signs aligned with quiet prosperity are often guided to slow down, even when the world feels rushed. At first, this may feel limiting. Over time, it reveals itself as protection. By not chasing everything, they conserve energy and avoid unnecessary risk. Another feature of stable prosperity in 2026 is reduced pressure. Worries that once felt heavy begin to loosen. Financial obligations become clearer. Emotional burdens feel lighter. Life may not change outwardly, but inwardly, there is more room to breathe. This easing of pressure allows people to enjoy what they already have, rather than constantly reaching for more. For those in later stages of life, this type of prosperity aligns naturally with wisdom. It supports longevity, emotional balance, and contentment. While others may appear to advance quickly, those with stable prosperity build something quieter and more enduring. They sleep better, recover faster, and remain resilient when challenges arise. It is important not to underestimate this path. In traditional astrology, years of stability are often the ones that protect people from major setbacks. A year that passes without crisis is a year that quietly adds strength. Many elders later look back and realize that the calm years were the ones that allowed them to remain whole. In 2026, zodiac signs aligned with this form of prosperity should resist the temptation to compare themselves with others. Comparison creates restlessness, and restlessness invites unnecessary risk. Staying true to one's natural pace allows this quiet fortune to continue flowing. As we reflect on this, remember that prosperity does not need to be visible to be real. A steady life, protected health, and peaceful home are signs of deep fortune. In the next part, we will gently speak about zodiac signs that must be especially careful in 2026. Not because they are unlucky, but because the fire horse year asks them to protect what they already have with greater awareness and restraint. In every year, there are zodiac signs that must approach prosperity with extra care, and 2026 is no exception. This does not mean these signs are destined for loss or hardship. It simply means that the fire horse energy moves in a way that can easily drain their resources if they are not mindful. For these signs, prosperity in 2026 is not about gaining more, but about protecting what has already been earned. The fire horse year encourages speed, confidence, and bold action. For some zodiac signs, this pressure can lead to impulsive decisions. Money may be spent too quickly. Promises may be made without enough consideration. Trust may be given too easily. In such cases, loss does not come from bad luck, but from acting against one's natural rhythm. This is why restraint becomes the key lesson. For these zodiac signs, the greatest danger in 2026 is comparison. Seeing others move quickly or speak loudly about success can create a sense of urgency that is not healthy. The desire to keep up can push people into investments, partnerships, or commitments that do not suit them. Traditional wisdom teaches that in some years, stillness is more profitable than motion. Another risk lies in emotional decision-making. Fire energy amplifies feelings. Anger, excitement, and fear all become stronger. When emotions guide financial or family decisions, regret often follows. Zodiac signs that are sensitive to fire horse energy must learn to pause before acting, especially when emotions run high. A short delay can prevent long-term loss. In 2026, protecting fortune also means protecting health. Overworking, ignoring rest, or pushing through exhaustion can quietly undermine prosperity. Medical expenses, fatigue, and stress-related issues can consume resources faster than any failed investment. Listening to the body is not weakness, it is wisdom. A healthy body protects wealth better than any strategy. These zodiac signs are advised to avoid major risks. Large investments, guarantees for others, or sudden changes should be approached with caution. This is not a year to gamble with stability. It is a year to strengthen foundations, organize finances, and simplify life. Even small acts of order can prevent larger problems later. There is also a spiritual aspect to protecting fortune. Gratitude and humility act as shields in a fire horse year. When people feel fortunate, even in modest ways, they tend to make wiser choices. When they feel dissatisfied, they often reach for more and lose what they already have. Contentment does not stop prosperity, it preserves it. For those zodiac signs who must focus on protection in 2026, the goal is not to hide or withdraw completely. It is to move carefully, with intention and awareness. Prosperity is not absent, it is simply quiet and conditional. By respecting limits and choosing caution over excitement, these signs can pass through the fire horse year with their resources, health, and peace intact. In the final part, we will bring all of this together and share gentle guidance for everyone, regardless of zodiac sign, on how to prosper safely and wisely in 2026, honoring both opportunity and restraint. As we reach the final part of this sharing, it is time to step back and look at the year 2026 as a whole. The year of the fire horse is not a year meant for blind ambition or careless retreat. It is a year that asks for awareness. Some zodiac signs will prosper through growth, others through stability, and others through careful protection. All of these paths are valid when they are walked with understanding. True prosperity in 2026 does not come from copying others or chasing what looks impressive from the outside. It comes from knowing your own nature and respecting your own limits. When action is needed, act with clarity. When restraint is required, do not feel ashamed to pause. The fire horse year rewards those who move with intention, not impulse. For those who experience growth, remember that success carries responsibility. Manage what you gain with discipline and humility. Do not allow excitement to replace wisdom. Prosperity that is handled gently tends to last longer and bring fewer regrets. For those whose year feels quiet and stable, recognize this as a blessing. Stability protects health, family harmony, and peace of mind. These are forms of wealth that cannot be replaced once lost. A year without crisis is a prosperous year, even if it does not bring dramatic change. For those who must focus on protection, understand that caution is not failure. Preserving what you have is a form of success. Many losses are avoided not through strength, but through patience and awareness. In the long journey of life, the ability to keep what you have built is often more important than the ability to gain more. Above all, remember that prosperity is deeply connected to peace. A restless heart cannot enjoy abundance, and a fearful mind cannot recognize blessings. When the heart is calm, even modest fortune feels sufficient. When the mind is clear, decisions become easier and life flows more smoothly. As you walk through 2026, observe more than you react. Choose carefully where to spend your energy. Let go of comparisons and listen instead to your own rhythm. The Fire Horse year moves quickly, but you are not required to run with it. You are only required to stay true to yourself. May this year bring you not only material comfort, but also emotional balance, steady health, and a home filled with quiet warmth. May you prosper not just in what you gain, but in how peacefully you live.